Guys, we have some exciting news.
The Forties Formula is going live on August 14th at the Green Collective at Funan Mall.
We are going to dive deep into the science, myths, and struggles around sugar addiction.
Breakfast and coffee are on us, thanks to the generous sponsors, Guzman y Gomez.
It's a small and intimate event with only 15 spots, so it's first come, first served.
Tickets are only $20, and that includes breakfast and $5 towards your purchase at the Green Collective.
Come and join us for a conversation that might change the way you eat, think, and feel.
What is the formula for deep, lasting friendships in your 40s?
You might feel young until you go to a club and then you see a bunch of 20-year-olds and you're like, I could be your mum.
How is friendship different for us now?
You're figuring out life at those different stages together, and those are deep-rooted experience, deep-rooted friendships when you rely on each other. A good friend is somebody who is your cheerleader, right? Who's happy for you and supports you and the good things that are going on.
This undercurrent of competitiveness and comparison that is constant and unyielding. And I did not know how to play the game.
I don't want to play this game. I don't want to fit in with this situation right now.
I don't want to be competitive, and I just want you to be you, and I want to be me.
Do you know what I struggle with is someone who drains your energy, but you don't know why. People who leave you questioning yourself and your ability. And those are the ones I struggle with.
That is a real green flag. If somebody is comfortable enough with you, they're not seeking your approval all the time.
Acceptance is the biggest thing at this age.
Now there are so many ways to keep in touch with people. It can get lost, right? Because I'm not messaging, I'm not phoning.
I'm definitely not phoning.
Right?
Me too. It doesn't matter how many years have gone by. Certain friendships expire, and they can be, they can come back and, be reignited.
Hey, and welcome to the Forties Formula, your go-to place for insightful discussions on navigating the 40s and thriving in this transformative decade.
We're your hosts, Jasmin and Amanda, two women that are passionate about exploring the challenges and adventures that come with turning 40 and what lies ahead. All right, before we dive into today's episode, let's talk about something that makes our lives way easier.
And tastier, because let's be honest, between work, workouts, and life, we don't exactly have time to wrestle the trolleys at the supermarket.
Which is why we've been with the Meat Club since the beginning of the Forties Formula.
Yep, they've had our back since episode 1, and tasty dinners on our plates too.
With the Meat Club, you skip the supermarket chaos and get premium nutritious proteins delivered to your door on your schedule.
It's a subscription that actually simplifies life. No last-minute grocery runs, just quality meats, seafood, fruits, and veggies always ready when you are.
Their mission says it all. Good food is the foundation of a great life. And with the Meat Club's delivery, it's coming literally to your doorstep.
This is where quality meets convenience, and we're here for it.
All right, TMC drop check. Let's see what we got here. Oh, well, first things first, you can't have Taco Tuesdays without snapper.
But what about salmon? Because that's definitely our favorite.
Okay, fair enough. But chicken breast, that's the workhorse we're eating every single day.
I think it's all about the chicken thighs.
Oh my gosh, chicken thighs. I don't know if I could get one down myself, but I do know that this mince makes a mean burger.
Who wants burgers when you can have a grass-fed beef eye fillet steak?
Okay, that is amazing. But with that steak, I would definitely be serving this delicious broccoli and spicing it up with these chilies.
Okay, you've definitely won there. I have got some coriander, some cherry tomatoes. I mean, check out the color on those. And for dessert, strawberries.
We also got some fruit for the kids, which they will love. And one of the coolest thing about the subscription, an amazing quality chef's knife and a beautiful wooden cutting board.
Honestly, it's the easiest way to eat well without overthinking it.
So if you're ready to upgrade your meals without adding to your mental load, head over to themeatclub.com.sg.
Sign up for the flexible subscription, no lock-ins, just high-quality proteins delivered straight to you.
And don't forget to use our code TFF12 to save $12 off your first order.
We'll drop it in the show notes, or you can find it on our Instagram.
The Meat Club, where quality meets convenience. Today we're talking all about female friendship, how it shifts, stretches, deepens, or sometimes fades as we move through different seasons of life. We're joined by two amazing women for this foursome chat. Back with us is our first ever podcast guest. Thank you so much for coming back, SHIREENA SHROFF MANCHHARAM, founder of Getting to Happy. And making her Forties Formula debut is ANJU CAWTHRA, the brilliant mind behind SSEW, Seasoned Singapore Expat Women, one of the most vibrant women's communities here in Singapore. This one is honest, reflective, and definitely one to send to your besties, or the friend that you've been meaning to text for ages.
And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button so you never miss an episode. And if this conversation makes you think of someone you love, share the episode with them and let them know that you're thinking of them.
Also, a big thank you to our sponsors for supporting this conversation, because without them, we wouldn't be able to have you here and have the real and necessary chats that we love having each week. So ladies, the chat today is open, roundtail format. Anybody can talk at any time, so nothing to worry about there in terms of asking for permission. You just go for it. I would love to know, from your perspective, how has friendship changed for you now since you were in your 20s?
When I was younger and in my 20s, I think friendships were easy to find. We were out a lot. Whether it was your first job or coming out of university, there were always more people around me then than now. So I think being in an environment where you're finding new friends was much easier. The difference is that now the opportunities are less, but the friendships are better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
definitely quality
Right.
quantity thing.
Yeah, I think that you find them when you're in your 20s, but the special ones come kind of later on, or it's easy to find those.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think it's circumstantial as well. In your 20s, you're going through so many new experiences and you're shifting through different phases of your life as well.
Yes.
And when you're older, you tend to be more settled, you have more responsibilities, and you're busy doing other things
Correct,
that are taking up your time. So you're not necessarily mixing all the time in new clubs, activities, jobs, circles.
Yeah.
And so it's a very different phase.
When's the last time you were all up in the club?
Oh, my God.
For real.
Actually, do you know what?
Last week.
Are you serious? I was like, if you are serious right now, you are so much cooler than us. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I honestly can't recall. Like, I honestly cannot recall. Like a legit club, like what it sounds like you're
Legit, but I was
describing.
traveling, so maybe that was just a bit.
I think I went a couple of years ago in London, but it felt weird because everyone was so young and I felt really out of place. And I think that's the problem now is going to a club, you don't quite feel like you fit in anymore.
Yeah.
Like you might feel young until you go to a club and then you see a bunch of 20-year-olds and you're like, I could be your mum.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't feel right.
Feel the
have those
fear and
thoughts.
do it anyway.
Yeah, no, true story. But it's, speaking of the club or like, the 20-year-olds, bless them, or like, being surrounded by people. I always think like, I had more friends in my 20s, but like, did I have more friends in my 20s? Or did I just have more people?
I agree with that.
Right? Because like basically nowadays I have like 4 people. I got my husband and my 3 kids. Like I have 4 people, like if we're, and Jasmin, okay? I have 5 people. I have 5 people. But like, if we're being real, but like in your 20s, it seems like you have a lot of friends just because a lot of people do things together. It's like we used to go to Vegas, right? Very American. Here we are. And it's like, we'd take 20 of us and get a bunch of hotel rooms and that was it. But like, were we friends?
Yeah.
Like, how is friendship different for us now?
Do you know what? For me, I think it comes down to who are the people who appreciate you for being you, for the things that you still need to prioritize without you feeling guilty about the stuff that you need to do. So, and I always find that it's one of those things where you could not spend any time with somebody for, a while. It could be like a month or so. And then all of a sudden you meet up again or you send them a message and it's like nothing's changed. Yeah. And I think those are the friendships that you cherish most, is the ones where it's low maintenance but high quality.
Often, I don't know if you agree with this, forged through times that you've spent together, right? You've gone through rites of passage together, and so you've put in the hard work at that time.
You have held the hair back in the toilet, and then it's like then we can all
That's true. Vegas still.
I mean, honestly, this is clearly a vibrant friendship memory. But no, you're right. It's forged in hard times.
Whether it's school and you're growing together, or university, or you're hanging out in the clubs, literally going through that phase of life together, or your first job, or you're figuring out life at those different stages together, and those are deep-rooted experience, deep-rooted friendships when you rely on each other. And then I think, yes, you grow up and you move around. We're all expats here.
Yes.
You break those close physical ties, but you can't break those bonds.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's something special about the people you grow with. You're right, your roots become intertwined, and so it doesn't matter where you are. You see those those memes or those necklaces. It's like, you know, sisters like far apart. I've completely fucked it up, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
I'm miles
Forever,
apart,
no matter the distance or whatever
it
it
is. But one of those things. And you're right. You know, it is all about the memories and the times that you've shared.
Yeah, the challenge is then how much do you still maintain those, or do you need to maintain those, or do you want to maintain those? And I think, you know, as long as you're able, like you say, just to pick up the phone in the middle of the night or call on them when something's going on, then it's still a relationship that has meaning for you.
Yeah. All right, big news. The Guzman y Gomez app has officially launched in Singapore, and we are already hooked.
Yes, it's giving convenience with standards. You can customize your order, skip the queue, and earn loyalty points with Gomex every time you order.
And there are app-only deals, coffee rewards, yes, exclusive bundles, and it's all kind of brilliant.
The best part, the app just makes getting clean, quality food even easier. GYG hasn't changed their core. No artificial flavors, no preservatives, just real ingredients and big flavors.
So now we can get fast, clean, crave-worthy food with a few taps on our phone. I mean, honestly, they have nailed it.
Download the Guzman y Gomez Singapore app and check them out at locations all across the island. Vivo City, Jewel, Westgate and more. Clean is the new healthy, and now it's also the new app. One of the things I always say, and I really feel like I struggle with, is making new friends. And I tell you why, because I feel like I don't have enough time right now to spend with the people I genuinely want to spend time with, like my old friends. And then trying to incorporate new friendships into it, that feels like a big struggle. Does anyone else feel the same way?
I agree with that, but I also think it comes from your own personal development.
Okay.
Like I think in my 20s, I was just a yes person.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to figure out myself. So if someone said, let's hang out, let's do this. Okay, do I really like that person? No, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Just yes. And now as I've aged and I know myself better, I know when I want to say no.
Yeah.
So if I might have said no to the same person in my 20s or right now. As I've grown, I have the conviction to say, I want to hang out, I don't, or you add value, or you don't. I think in my 20s it was much harder for us to discern who we wanted in our lives and who we didn't.
Yeah, because there's always that FOMO issue, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to miss out?
Yeah.
Or if I don't go, you know, is something going to happen that might be the best thing ever? You know?
Totally. I think people are still suffering from FOMO, even in their 40s and 50s.
You're so right. And I feel like that has been the biggest change to my friendships. It's not so much like who I'm friends with or what I look for in a friend. It's like the type of environments that I'm willing to participate in for friendship. So, you know, I coach a lot of clients in fitness and nutrition, and a recurring issue is always like, oh, like I'm really trying to, you know, be on top of my protein and limit my alcohol intake, but my girlfriends want to go to brunch. You know, and they want to do a
They
bougie.
should hang out with us more.
I was like, first of all, find more boring friends. There's your first tip, okay? Find the fit people and go to what they're doing. But really, it's like that. It's like my boundaries are more now about like what environments I want to find myself in. And then that kind of by default does curate the friend group a little bit.
Yeah, that's how you find your tribe, right?
Yeah.
You hang out more and more, not just spending time with them, but spending more time with more of them.
Yes.
In both ways, right?
Yes, both ways.
You are a mirror. The people around you reflect back to you as well, and vice versa. It's who you surround yourself with and how you build your habits and create a better you. It has to be reciprocal. So I think there is a lot of that of, you know, choose who you want to hang out with, set your boundaries. Is that working for me? Is that not working for me? And where do I want to go with this? Do I want to hang out with them more or not? And if not, then that's kind of okay, because you're being true to yourself.
But I think in your 40s, you can. It's much easier to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of pressure versus when you're in your 20s. You're still trying to figure out yourself.
Yeah.
Or accept yourself. For me, it was acceptance
Yes.
or loving myself enough to then find the right friendships, right?
And there was an interesting post actually on the SSEW Facebook group where there was a lady saying that she can't seem to find her tribe, her people.
I saw that.
Yeah. And I didn't get through the comments, but how do people find their tribe in their 40s? Like, what do you think would be the way to move forward to find the people, especially if you've moved to a different country? Because, you know, like you said, we're all expats here and we had to find a new tribe, whether we came in our 20s, our 30s or 40s. And it can be hard. So how do we find our tribe in the 40s? What would you do? Like, what steps would you take?
I mean, it's a bit like a needle in a haystack, isn't it?
Yeah.
You land somewhere new and you've got a huge population to get to know. Like, where do you start, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's about whittling it down. And so if you can find people that you connect with, whether it's through an activity, it's a bit like dating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do you
Oh,
go
yeah.
to find people that you like?
Yeah.
You have to relate to them on different levels. So is it through an activity? Is it through an exercise class, a mindfulness kind of, a spiritual vibe? The great thing about our community at SSEW is that it is full of like-minded women. We're seasoned, we've been here for a long time. So again, you're whittling down all those people who have just arrived and might not be staying here for that long, and therefore you're not going to make a long-term friendship out of them. So I think it's heading to the right spaces and places, first of all, and then investing your time and energy, and you get out of it as much as you put in, right? If you're not going to show up to events, then how are you going to meet people? If you're not going to comment and you're always just going to lurk, you're never going to get replies and forge relationships through that way. So I think it's a question of showing up, but showing up in the right places.
Yeah.
And I would agree that, showing up in the right places for sure. And it's like, know who you are and what you care. So for me, if I was going to, I do this. So a perfect example, like any city I travel to, I go to CrossFit. Like CrossFit is international. So like I go to CrossFit Munich when I'm in Munich, and I go to CrossFit Taiwan when I'm in Taipei. And it's like, I go to that community. I know at some level that I will find people that have at least one shared interest with me. And then the act of suffering together, which is, by the way, all my fellow CrossFitters listening, you lie in each other's sweat pile for a while, and guess what? You're buddies. So I think if you know really deeply what your identity is, and then you seek out groups that are, based on that, like you'll never falter. Like you could always have at least a friend if you know yourself really well.
I was going to say that a lot of people that come to me as, as a life coach, even in their 40s or their 50s, they're trying to find their tribe, or they're trying to understand why certain relationships are not working out, or why a friend for 10 years is not their friend anymore. And a lot of it is, yes, I like what you said, Anju, because you literally look after this entire group of women. On a personal level, sometimes if you don't know yourself well enough, or if you're not comfortable in your own skin, in your own home, returning back to your partner or not partner or your children, and you're not okay, then what you're going to seek is also not going to be right. And then those friendships are going to be so much harder to organically cultivate and grow, because you're not in that right place.
They're going to feel inauthentic. Because you're like, that's not actually me.
Because you're like, oh, I like that person, I like what they do, but maybe that's not your vibe. Maybe they don't relate back to you. Then you get upset, or you're not sure about yourself, and then you have self-doubt, and you're like, what's wrong with me? So I think that first step too is like, make sure that you yourself are, all the puzzle pieces are fit together, so that you go out there and you're not going to break apart.
Oh, I love that. It's almost like you need to love yourself first, so
And
that
know
you
yourself.
and know yourself, and then you can share that with others. I think that's brilliant, and I think that's advice that a lot of people need to take on board.
Have you ever had to drop a friend, like whether on the basis of
Yes.
in your personal life? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, no, I was thinking through this question.
Okay, good. So this is not a shock.
No, but I don't normally do this because I'm a very much a yes person, and I'll take it, and the more the merrier. Fill my cup, sounds great. But I did have someone that just drained me. And as I was thinking about this question, I was actually thinking back to like, what was I going through in my own life? And I was pregnant actually with my son. And I couldn't take on any more of my friend's baggage.
Girl, pregnant or not, anybody got time.
But as a friend, you feel, I would do that for a friend. She was a friend, many years of friendship. And I'll always be there. That's the definition of friendship, right? No matter what, you're there for their highs and their lows. But I couldn't carry it anymore. And I've never done that. I've only done it twice in my life. And I said, I can't, and I'm sorry. And looking back at it now, over 10 years ago, that person had to figure out who they were. And they kept trying to come, whether it was to me or to other people, and trying to figure it out. And we couldn't help, or I couldn't help. So, and I know that this person now has evolved. I've seen it from a distance, and I'm really happy, and I'm really, and I think that chance to reconnect, absolutely can happen, because that person has evolved.
Yes. You pushed a little baby bird out of the nest and she flew.
Yes.
So great.
That is literally how it was.
And that's the best possible outcome, right? For her and for you, honestly.
Yes.
Because really taking on other people's baggage is just, again, we want to talk about things we cannot do in our 40s.
Yes.
Taking on other people's baggage.
Cannot.
Nah. No time.
No.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's not enough time for your own family and the friends that you do have. This can be hard.
Did you have a big blowout when that sort of became apparent?
It wasn't a big blowout, but it was a very this was a very conscious conversation of, I'm really sorry. I don't think I can do this. It felt like a breakup.
I was going to say, it sounds like
a bit traumatic.
Yeah, no. It actually sounds like a really nice way to let go, because I feel like when it comes to friendships, it's almost like a ghosting, like you just stop talking.
It's a
And
fade.
don't,
it's a slow fade.
You don't say anything.
We've all had those.
Definitely.
Like you've just kind of maybe
it's expired.
It's
slow expired. Yeah.
Or there's that big like, I don't know.
I would love a blowout story. Does anyone have any like where you literally got into it and then stopped? Because I hear about this actually from clients a lot. Like, I don't talk to my sister anymore because we had a big blowout 10 years ago at Thanksgiving, and that was it. Yeah. I've never had like a hard stuff like that.
I feel like I've had one blowout, and it's weird because actually now that I think about it, it wasn't. So it was weird. We were actually much younger, so I was in my 20s, and she was my best friend, like to the point where we in fact I actually get a bit sad thinking about this because we were so close. We spent a lot of time together. Every night we'd be messaging. Then we went to separate unis, and I think growing up in school we had a very similar upbringing and we were the same. And then I went to university, but I managed to live out, so I was away from the norm. She's had to stay home. So then we kind of had a different outlook on the things that we did.
Interesting.
Being Indian.
When you say live out, you got to live at school.
Yeah. As in, I wasn't living with my family anymore.
Okay.
She still had. You probably won't understand this much, but I think you two will understand. Being a brown person, you got a lot of family responsibilities and a lot of. There's a lot of things where you have to keep in mind that what will people think. There's like all of this sort of stuff, and I think she felt disconnected. Maybe she felt there was a lot going on, and at the time we had a little bit of, I guess, a separation in our lives and what we were doing. And I remember it was really random because I was in a good place in my life. I had met Amin, we had just started dating and everything was great. And she had just gone through a breakup. So two very different places in our life. And I remember sending this. It was really stupid, actually, if you think about it. It was those chain letters. It was like an email chain letter. That got forwarded to me, so I forwarded it on to her. And she went absolutely ballistic. Like, she was just like, how dare you send it to me? Like one of those things. And I was like, whoa, that's a bit of an overreaction. But basically, we just stopped talking from that point onwards. And now we do chat every now and again. It's okay. But it's never been the same as it was. Yeah. And now that I think about it, it wasn't the chain letter, even though it felt like it was the chain letter at the time. It was because we were in different aspects of in different areas and different times of our lives. And, where I might have been like, oh, I met this guy, he's amazing, blah, 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 blah. She's just broken up with somebody and she's feeling like, oh, you're,
throwing it in my face.
Even though which I hope I wasn't doing. Maybe I was. I don't know. Maybe that's how it came across. But obviously I was happy and I wanted to share it with my friend. Yeah. But she was obviously sad and she didn't want to hear it. So, that's my story.
I think that's a really important factor in female friendships is competition and comparing.
Yes. Yeah. We must talk about this.
I think that's what was going on for her. She was feeling a deep wound and comparing her life to you. And I think as you get older, coming back to what you were saying, SHIREENA, about understanding yourself, knowing yourself, you go through so many different things in life that let you learn lessons about yourself. And you come to a place of acceptance and understanding and balance, hopefully, if you do the work and work through those things, that lets you not compare yourself to other people when you're older. And that hopefully shouldn't be a part of your friendships anymore, because a good friend is somebody who is your cheerleader, right? Is happy for you and supports you and the good things that are going on. And maybe, obviously, she wasn't able to do that at that point in life. But as you get older and you're more centered, even though that may be going on for you in your life, hopefully you're at a point where you're able to cheer your friend on.
And I think maybe, like, now that I sort of go back and look at it, and had we have been older, maybe it could have been a conversation like you had where, I'm really happy for you, but I really don't want to hear about this great guy that you've met. And I think
it's like the pregnancy thing.
Oh, yes,
it's like women who are going through fertility struggles and, and you're not. Like, do you have to hide your family from them? Or is it their responsibility to then say, hey, I'm actually, like, I need a little break from you because I can't look at this content right now.
Communication, right? You got to be okay receiving it and also saying it. That's how you do that. Like, big blowouts, I mean, it's going to cause pain and trauma, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, even a serious conversation is hard, but
it's
how you're going to deliver that.
So I grew up with an older brother and all male cousins. So no, the only female around, in terms of family was my mom, right? And so she was never, competing with me. And so when I got to college, when I got to uni, that was the first time that, and I joined a sorority. Sorry, I buried the lead
So
there.
American.
I'm the most American, right? So I joined a sorority, a big, classic one like you would see on TV. In fact, the movie Animal House was made about my college. So that movie, that Greek life environment, that was my college.
All I'm thinking of is what was that play buddy movie?
I know what you mean. House Bunny?
House Bunny, I think it was. That's
so
the dinosaur.
again, that's like the extreme version, but let's just say you get what I'm talking about, right? So I went from, completely kind of, masculine norms of friendship, let's say, and like I was really close to my brother and stuff like that, to being in this hyper feminized environment at a time where we were all still hormonally and, prefrontal cortex developing, and alcohol, and we all lived in a house together. There was 100 of us living in a house together. And that, my friends, is a crash course in female comparison,
that must just
the dynamics.
I don't even know how that would
It's
ever
unreal.
work.
It's unreal. And I mean, menstrual cycles obviously are also happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it is real. And then again, add the layer of the sorority thing where you're being judged on physical appearance constantly. And not just judged, but meaning like people want to join your group based on how you look or not join your group based on how you dress.
tough.
And
Oh my God.
Unreal.
We don't have this in UK universities, do we? No.
Thankfully.
through that is where I learned about, what we were just talking about, this undercurrent of competitiveness
Yes.
and comparison
Yes.
that is constant and unyielding. And I did not know how to play the game. I have to be honest with you. So it was really hard
how'd
for
you
me in
survive
the
it?
beginning. Adapted.
So you learned to play the game, or you just ignored the game?
Learned to play the game, and then through that realized I don't love the game. Not so much a game for me.
Correct.
Could not imagine a more boring setting than sitting around with a bunch of people talking about our exercise, diet habits, and body weights, and what our weight on the scale, and just
You're like, tell me your barbell weight. That's what I want.
and I was like, when are we
How
going to
much
get to the
can you
part
bench
where,
press?
yeah. I mean, I just that whole thing, the common topics of
Yeah.
conversation, I
Yeah.
think that was a eye opener for me. Because can you imagine, my brother and my cousins never once asked me
But I
about
can't even
what
imagine
my weight was.
But I can't even imagine, even if you were totally secure as a young woman,
Yeah.
to be in an environment with 100
Yeah.
women.
Oh, it was
That-
real.
Even if you're so secure and happy with who you are and confident,
It's got you questioning.
it would still be very hard.
Okay,
What
I
a
have, I have to share one thing. And again, this is like not about the sorority thing, but this is, I think, for people who have not been in sororities, this will blow your mind. So for sorority recruitment, which is the important thing, that's when you get the girls to join, right? We had to wear matching outfits. That in itself is not crazy.
Oh, we were matching outfits all the time.
We love it. Okay, first of all, I will match with anyone. If you just ask me, I'll match with you. Okay. But we had a thing called dress checks, where you had to put on your version of the matching outfit, and a group of your peers, you'd have to walk in the outfit, do a turn, and they would have to assess if that was an adequate version of the outfit, AKA, did it fit? Did it flatter? Was it trendy? Was it the right brands? Were your panty lines showing?
Oh my
Panty,
God.
do panty lines,
Was
do I have to
it
translate
good
that for a Gen
enough?
Z audience? So panty lines are these things. Anyway, but all that stuff. And then you could be sent away to have to change it if it wasn't up to
How
standard.
humiliating. Yeah.
That's a world that exists. Anyway.
Oh, that sounds
Big
awful.
aside. Big aside.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, when you're older, 40, bringing it back to the current day, when
Yeah.
you're 40 plus,
Yeah.
hopefully you're in a place where you can recognize that in other people.
Yeah.
And you can make those decisions.
Absolutely.
As to, I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
I don't want to fit in with
Yeah.
this situation right now.
I don't want to be
all.
competitive, and I just want you to be you, and I want to be me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
So what are some of the red flags for female friendships? Like, what are the things that would keep you away from someone? So like for sure for me, it would be that hyper competitiveness. I'd be like, I'm out of your game.
me
No
too.
worries. Like what else is like a red flag for you guys?
Do you know what I struggle with is someone who drains your energy, but you don't know why. Like I've had some friends who, you hang out with them, and sometimes you'll hang out with somebody and afterwards you'll feel like, oh, cup full, that was amazing, I had such a great chat with you. But there are other people who leave you questioning yourself and your ability.
Yeah.
And those are the ones I struggle with.
Yeah, fair.
Because, I'll be like, oh, I'm all good, I'm all happy. Then I'll have a chat with somebody and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I feel like I haven't achieved as
you're
much as I...
wilted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are red flags for me. Like, how do they make you feel after the conversation?
If you're open and sharing with somebody and they're just not really going there,
Got it.
they're still guarded, they're still, keeping their
Giving you the surface
cards
level answers.
close to their chest. And I think that's a real red flag. It's not a two-way street.
I feel like we get that a lot in expat life.
Yeah.
There's that like expat layer that you crack through with people, and then it's like, then we can actually chat.
Yeah.
Like once we get through that. How about green flags? What is stuff when you meet somebody, like, I'll share our meet cute. So when Jasmin and I met, so Jasmin approached me for a coffee, and I was like, for sure, and we met. And I mean, it could... Instantly, first of all, we knew each other was real. Like just little signals, like obviously like the slang we use. We both drop F-bombs all the time. We're both wearing our gym clothes. Nobody's overly made up.
Like today we are.
Yeah. Okay. Today extra fancy. Okay. But it was an instant kind of setting of realness.
Yeah.
And then we just genuinely had so much in common. So I'd say a green flag for me is that immediate sense that this person is not putting on a show for me.
Yes.
Because I can't stand that.
Yeah.
And again, in the expat life, that does happen quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. A lot of it's about appearances,
Yes.
right? I would say if somebody is candid with their advice to me, if I bring a problem to the table, I'm like, well, this happened and this is what I think about it. I don't want somebody just to agree with me and be a yes man and yes, you're so right. I totally agree. Yes. I think that real talk is, no, actually, have you thought about it from this angle?
Good call,
no,
right?
actually, I'm not sure I agree with you on that. This is how I would think about it. I think that has so much strength, and maybe that's something that only those who are really, really close to you might feel comfortable. Your parents, your partner, your real bestie. But I think that is a real green flag if somebody is comfortable enough with you that they're not seeking your approval all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so true. I think it's acceptance for me. Like, acceptance is the biggest thing at this age. Like, you accept me for things that I don't do well, things that I do well.
Yeah.
My days that I look like crap, the days that I look okay. And I think what I've noticed, and this is like from clients that are coming in or just talk, in this 40s and 50s, this age group with women in Singapore, is so much competitiveness, but so much unhappiness for someone else. And, I hate the thing about social media that, someone will say, did you see what someone put up on social media? And I'm like, yes, they are traveling the world. And they're like, oh, but does she have to put it up?
Right.
I'm like,
Oh my God.
she could put up something every minute of the day. But if you're not okay, you're the problem.
Yes. That is a you problem.
That is a you problem.
Not a her problem.
And if someone puts up something sad, it's your choice to reach out.
Yes.
You don't have to victimize. You don't have to make them look like they're, it's, if they do it every single day, okay, that's their prerogative. You have a choice to comment or not comment, or to reach out or not to reach out, no matter how close they are. That's their choice to put up into the universe. But I think the happiness for someone else, the not comparing or not wanting something else, makes you a better person. And you're going to be happy when you see people putting up something or doing something great. Say good job. Say I like what you did. Or if you don't want to comment on social media, take it offline and send a message like, I just saw your photo and you look great, or I saw your kid achieve this. How awesome. I'm happy for you. But if you're not happy with yourself, you will never be able to say to someone else.
There's always that projection, isn't there? It's like usually when something triggers you, it's because it's something about you rather than
but they don't
something
see
about
that,
them.
Jasmine. They're like, that person is doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
look at what they are doing wrong.
Yes, it's the judgment.
it's the judgment and the comparison that why would they do that? Why would they put that up? Why are they wearing this? Well, but if they have, they can do whatever they want. But it's you. Hi.
Why is that an issue for you?
And even the social media itself. So I had a girlfriend, be upset with me because of the fact that I do share on social media. Meaning, so she's like, I had to find it from your social media first.
Oh God, yes.
And this is pregnancy news. And I was like, girlfriend. I was like, if I had time
to message
individually
everyone,
pick up the phone. This is my third, right? So I was like, first of all, pregnancy news, not big news. Guess what, man? It's pregnant again. But like, secondly, I was like, girl, like, I love you, but like, please do not mistake the fact that I didn't tell you personally about this pregnancy news the moment before I posted. First of all, it's my news. If we're being serious, right?
You can do it any way you want.
And second of all, it's like I wanted everyone to know at the same time. That actually is why I do it that way. Other than my family, I want everyone to know at the same time because I want to share that news equally among all friends. So it's like it's quite intentional that I did that. But she personally felt slighted because she doesn't share that way on social media. right?
Right.
That's not how she releases her news.
Right.
She reaches out to us exactly what you said. She'll send a message personally.
Right.
So you do you.
You do you, girl. And I'm going to be over here making my hilarious reel, by the way. It was very funny.
I think that's a huge pressure in friendships as well, other people's expectations.
Yes.
Right? She was expecting
A
to
personal
be one
call.
of the first to know because
Yes.
she's one of your best friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hey, I have a lot of good friends
Yeah.
and I want to share my news with a lot
With
of people.
everybody.
And accept that, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can accept your friend for how they do things, how they live, how they dress, how they behave, how they raise their kids, you will love them for who they are. But I think to me, acceptance is the biggest word. Like if you love someone for exactly who they are, you have a very strong friendship.
Yeah.
Because you're not expecting them or, expecting them to show up in a certain way or behave a certain way. If they're crappy one day and they're kind of off one day and they're kind of super awesome the next day, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because you love them for who they are.
Yeah. And I guess what you mean and what you've been saying is when you expect something from somebody else, that's usually when it's going to lead to disappointment for you.
Yeah.
So, whether that's your best friend, your boyfriend, your husband, your
Yes.
kids.
Your job, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expectations
Yeah.
mismatch.
Always. And I always say this to my son as well. Like, he'll be like, oh, I wanted to have this play date with so-and-so, but it was not as good as I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, yes, because you were expecting.
Yes.
Just go in and just, don't have any expectations
Yeah.
and then just see how it goes.
Yeah,
And
it's so. And I think in your 40s and 50s, you should have less expectations.
Yeah,
When
very
you're
true.
young, we want to expect the world. We want everything to be magical. We're taught that we can get that, right? Like your first day on the job is gonna be amazing. No, not always.
And then you're making coffee and doing coffee.
Oh, your first day is gonna be amazing and magical.
Yes.
You're gonna
Yeah.
know
I
you're
mean,
just in
immediately know
love.
he's the one, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we have those, and it's lovely to live like that in your 20s. Go for it. Dream big, fall hard. It's okay. But I think as you're in your 40s and 50s, we have less expectations, less of that fancy sparkle, which is okay. Doesn't mean that life is not as wonderful, just that you're less disappointed.
But also I think that for me, I turn that on its head if I'm ever feeling like, let's say, I don't know, there's someone's going out for dinner and I wasn't invited to the group dinner or whatever, or there's a girls trip and how come I didn't make the list for the girls trip? I think it's having the agency when you're older to say, I can make that happen.
Yes.
Why am I feeling disappointed about
Yes.
this? Hey, I can get my girlfriends together
Yes.
and let's do
You
a
want a girls trip, get a
dinner.
girls
Let's
trip.
go on a
Yeah.
girls trip. I think you have to be in the driving seat and
Yes.
not just always be expecting
Yes.
that this has to be the best
true. Well
like
said, yeah.
friendship.
Yes.
I can make it the best friendship
make
according
it,
to
yeah.
what that
Yes.
means to me and us.
And I'm happy in my skin, doing my thing, that if I'm seeing someone else, have a dinner or going on a trip, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could maybe have a conversation with a side friend and be like, hey, maybe next time I want to come, okay,
Right.
guys?
Right.
That's okay. But,
Right.
you have to be okay in the skin. I think
Right.
that what I see the most is just that skin is just not theirs,
Yeah.
even in their 40s and 50s.
So we've talked a lot about what we expect from friends or don't, not setting expectations too high and like what other people are doing. But let's talk a little bit about ourselves as a friend. So are there things now in our 40s that you think you could be doing better as a friend? Like, I could actually work on this as a friend.
I think I need to be more of a yes person. So I used to be very much a yes person. I was, yes, yes, yes. You want to do something? Yes. Drink champagne for breakfast? Yes. You want to go to girls trip tomorrow? Yes. And then I
Went the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm very protective of when I want to do things. And recently, I felt like I'm very grateful for my life and my friends. And actually, to acknowledge that gratitude, I need to be a little bit more of a yes sometimes. Because as we become older, we're like, okay, this is what I want to eat. I don't want to eat something unhealthy.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a lot of no's.
Yeah.
And I see my mom is quite a no person. She's very strict with what she wants to do and when she wants to go to bed, and she's super healthy and fit. And
Sounds like me.
Yeah, I know. I am too seen. In this description.
But she's like that, and it's commendable. She looks fantastic, and she has great health and all that. But I want to make sure that I say yes even when I want to say no. So I think to be a better friend, I should say yes more often. That's my thing. So
That's
sometimes
fair.
I have to remind myself, and I go, no, Sheena, just say yes. Nothing will happen. No one will get hurt. You won't die if you have the pizza instead of, the salad.
Yeah.
And you want the pizza, yes. So saying yes would be my thing.
I love that actually. I do. I think that's such a great way to look at things.
Yeah, and like you said, and seeing it kind of as actually a full circle.
Yeah.
Like it used to just blindly say yes, then
Yeah.
you're like staunchly saying no, and then you're like, but I could say yes.
Yeah. like nothing will
bit
happen.
of
I should
balance.
try. Yeah.
I think for me, it's finding the different ways to connect with certain friends. I have a lot of friends who are back in England, the time zones and their things going on in their families. You know, I think to maintain a good friendship, it's finding the MO. How does this work? Is it that I'm going to call them once a month and make it my walk and talk once a month and block out that whole evening and just do a 2-hour, 3-hour blast out? Is it that actually I'm going to get a few friends together who are common and we're going to do like just schedule in a once a fortnight a video call or something and we all just catch up together? Or is this a text chat and this is just how we're gonna be, right? I think quite often now there are so many ways to keep in touch with people, it can get lost, right? Because I'm not messaging, I'm not phoning.
I'm definitely not phoning.
Right?
Me too.
And I might see them in person, you know, once in a blue moon or once a year when we go back or something. But what modality works best for which friend? And I think I've got a friend in mind who I need to work on with. She's in Melbourne. Her name's Emily. Emily, I'm going to send this to
Hi,
you.
Emily.
I'm thinking of you. She had a baby quite a while ago and I just never really figured out like when's a good time for us to actually she's got her, you know, up to her eyeballs in it. She was working a really great job that she has and just no time. You know what it's like with newborns. It's just never the right time. And we tried, you know, oh, can I ring you now? How about tomorrow? And she was like, maybe, just like try. And I didn't want to get in the way of all the other stuff. And we tried for a bit, but actually didn't. So I think now it's been a little while and hopefully that, you know, she's in a routine and got things figured out and now we can figure out what's the MO. Is it a text chat when you're, you know, maybe it's late at night for me and hubby's asleep in bed next to me, but I can message, for example, or is it a video call or a whatever, you know?
Do you know something that I do, which you know what we say, get off your phone, don't spend so much time on your phone, right? And there are moments where we're doing absolute nonsense.
Yes.
I'll pick up my phone and I'll go through WhatsApp. And it's one of the things that I write in my, we've done this together.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Getting to Happy, which is my box set of cards to live a happier life. And one of the cards is relationship repair. And, you know, it's not that you have to fix it, but you just want to, maybe you can't fix that video call. I have a friend like this in New York and we just can't, she just has such a busy life with the kids. And I just go through my WhatsApp. So if I have 10 minutes or whatever I'm doing, and I'll just scroll and I'm like, oh, I haven't messaged that friend. And I'll be like, oh, I saw you had a trip on social media. It looked great. I hope you're well. That's it. Or someone else, how's work going? Or someone, you know, whoever, my cousin, how's my niece? How's my nephew? Whatever it may be. And it's just one line. And that sometimes feels enough.
Yes, I actually, it's funny you should bring those cards up because I have been so inspired by the work that we did together around those cards. There's so many different ways. It's very simple inspirations to live a better life. But one of the things that I do off the back of that is if somebody crosses my mind for whatever reason, right? We all think about different people for different reasons. I do just send them a little line.
So smart.
I saw this and I thought of you. Hey, how's it going? And I think that it's just a little, because all we want to feel is connected. That's what balances out that loneliness.
Yes, and it just reestablishes the friendship. And it's, you know, you're on your phone a lot. We're doing nonsense on our phone. And if you can change that to just sending messages, scrolling on your WhatsApp, don't scroll on Instagram, scroll on WhatsApp, and just go down the list of people that you haven't.
Yes.
It's just that. And you know, I've had people reach back and go, oh my God, I was having the worst day. I'm just so happy to hear from you. How are you, babe? And you're like, oh, great. And that was it. And that's just that connection made. And then,
like when we asked you to be on this podcast, that was a moment like that.
I was so excited.
I need to stop sending like Instagram videos to people. For me, that's my way of saying I'm thinking of you.
No, but
That's
the mean thing is
valid,
love.
I think.
The mean thing is totally love language. I will argue, and you send different memes to different people.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
like it's like I know you so well. Like only you will find this funny.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have a friend who sends me the most like esoteric, crazy stuff, but she knows I will laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's like her and I only send that stuff together.
Yeah, and I've got a cousin who literally will only speak to each other through like Instagram memes. So I'm like, okay, this works.
Yeah, that's the basis for a relationship.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's what works for you. You're connected.
Exactly.
And you build on that, right? So it's not oblique when something happens and you say, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? And I'm really sorry about what happened. And it's you've got some kind of basis.
Yeah.
And that's what's really important.
For sure.
How about you though? What do you think you could do like better as a friend?
Oh, to be honest, I think I just need to be more connected. I feel like right now I feel so time poor that I'm constantly, you know what it is? I'm constantly on the road. I feel like a taxi driver. And so I'm going from one place to the next place doing 100 million different things that I'll read a message, but because I'm driving, I don't respond to the message.
Girl.
So I feel like I need to set some time and just go through and respond to all of the messages. Because if you go back and have a look, I've got like, sometimes I'll even start typing a message because I'll be at the red light and then be like, oh, it's green now. And I've got like this half written message and then I'll forget because my brain is in a million places. But I think I need to set some time apart and actually reach out to people and finish those messages and, you know, answer the questions that I've been asked.
So something that I do that I've learned over a bit of time is because I had enough of my brain being in a million different places. Sorry, I had to do something about that. And I'm much, much more intentional with what I do with my time at whatever moment. So I will... Again, it's kind of like habit stacking, I guess, and just make sure that there's a period of time when I only do that. So if I'm going down to the bus to pick my kids up off the bus, I'll go 10 minutes earlier. And I'll stand out there and I'll have 10 minutes of sunshine. It's not bad for you.
Which is amazing.
And I'll actually take my shoes off and I'll ground in the grass out there for 10 minutes while I'm standing there. And I will go through my WhatsApps that I have. Maybe I've started and drafted and haven't sent, but I've just got 10 minutes to actually think about it now and be intentional about it. And another thing that I do when I'm driving around that is like really cemented my connection is I'll call my parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been
Driving
doing that.
time is parent time.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I don't drive, so I don't have driving time as parent time. But you know, back to like how we connect with different people.
Yes.
I have added a daily to-do item that is message your mom, your brother, or your niece. So I have to message one of those three people, ideally all of them, but at least one of those people hears from me every single day because I will not let a day go by without those three people knowing that like I'm in their lives, you know, and they're all in the
that goes for friendships too, right? I think we all know those handful of people who are super close to you, who you invest in, and who it's important just to check in.
Just a line. And I have another thing that I used to do, which was sending someone something. Like, so I had this box of brownies from this one company that I would just, it was a standard box, it was a certain amount of money. Maybe I didn't have time to meet, or maybe I didn't want to have a proper conversation. They're busy, fine, the date was just stressful and then you didn't want to do it anyways. And sometimes that love language of just sending something, it was that standard box of brownies. And I would just send it. And I'm just like thinking of you, and that's it. And that feels amazing.
Yes, it
Who doesn't want brownies?
And that, no, first of all, no one does not want brownies. So like again, if whatever the list is with the brownie list, you can just like add me on that. I'm on that one.
Tomorrow, Amanda.
Has a friend ever surprised you? And I don't just literally mean surprised with brownies, although like that would be, but like done something for better or for worse that you were like, wow, I really didn't see it coming.
So this is really crazy, but this happened recently, just a few weeks ago. A friend who cut me off some 22 years ago finally reached out.
Wow. Shut up.
Yeah.
On what basis? Both the cutting out and the reaching out. I want to know the thing and the other thing.
Yeah.
They were just in Singapore, and so they reached out.
Okay.
After very long, after a very, not great ending, and it was magical. Like sometimes friendships have years in between, and that
decades sounds like
decades, and it surprised the hell out of me. I really learned that it doesn't matter how many years have gone by. Certain friendships expire, and they can be, they can come back and be reignited, and that people are in your life for a reason, and sometimes they're not there for a certain amount of time, and that's okay. You didn't need them.
They're there for a season.
They're there for a season, exactly. And we should be open in our hearts and our minds to bring people back in. And there are some people that are very, you're out of my life and I'm never going to talk to you again, and it's so dramatic, and life is short.
But look, you did a yes.
I did a yes.
That was a yes thing, right? To be like, because you probably could have been like, nah, I'm busy. like I'm in Bali this weekend. The universal excuse for Singapore, for our expats,
very
for our other
unexpected.
folks listening. Just tell everyone you're in Bali. No one ever questions it.
It was unexpected, but that was very amazing. It was just a few weeks ago, so I definitely thought about that.
And so I'm intrigued by this. How was it when you met up?
Yeah.
Did you pick up right where you were, or
Yes.
was it a little bit? Or
No.
were you,
right where.
Really?
Yeah.
So then
That
it was
was
enough
very nice.
time. It was like the right amount of time.
Exactly.
22 years to
to
get
like
over it.
diffuse that bomb.
It really speaks about both of your maturity as well.
Yeah.
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 You know that you
And acceptance
Yeah.
again. Like
Yeah.
it's okay that you don't have someone in your life, and you don't have to be so difficult or hard in terms of cutting people out and never letting them back into
Yes.
your life. Be open, life is
yes,
short.
definitely. Yeah.
How about you, Anju? Any surprises?
I think probably these days I'm the one doing the surprising.
You're the one dropping bombs.
Not bombs, but I am, you know, as we mentioned earlier, Jasmin, you mentioned you're more protective of your time and who you spend it with and what you do, and not being drained of your energy. And I think I'm very mindful of that right now. Because
Anju, I want to interrupt. Can I ask you a
Yeah.
question? Because you know look after all these women.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Thousands.
I can imagine people just
Assume they're your friend.
assume they're your friend, and also just want a piece of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, want your time or want your advice. How do you manage that?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's
you,
a
but I'm
great
just, like,
question.
really
That is
thinking
such a good question.
Like, you're like mama to all these like women who are
Yes.
just new, no friends, uncertain, depressed, excited to hang out. How do you deal?
I would say that that's not a realistic picture of how my life looks, actually. I think our audience of really super amazing, like-minded women,
Yeah.
they pretty much look after themselves. They don't need much mothering or looking after. There are people who do reach out, but
Yeah.
actually they reach out to each other in the community
Oh, right.
more
Okay.
than to me directly. And I think that is really what the community is there for, to help each other and share their breadth of experience. People do reach out and say, hey, I'm going through a tough time. I'd really like to post about this. Is that okay? Which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
They rarely actually reach out to me for my personal perspective. Yes, I do connect with a lot of business people who might want advice on, you know, is your community the best way for me to share my business?
understand.
Or, you know, that's a kind of strategy thing and a bit more about being an experienced person in Singapore. I've been here for 18 years now, so know the lie of the land. Yeah, it's just like any other job. I guess you field your emails, you know, you set
Yeah.
aside time to do your deep work in the
Yeah.
morning and respond to things more thoughtfully and meaningfully.
Yeah.
And then you create events where you can get those people together and maybe reach out to those people and say, hey, you know, you were asking about that a while ago. Well, I'm doing this now. And would you like to come and we can have a chat there? And,
Right.
you know, so I guess I use it as fuel and inspiration to redirect them to where might help them best. Does that answer the
Yeah,
question?
totally. I just feel like you're very inspiring, and people, you know, if they're new to Singapore, are going to just be like,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I
she's
want
mine.
to know her.
I need
She
her.
is
Yeah.
the
I want to know
yes.
her. I need
yeah,
her.
she is.
Yeah.
You know, to use another community's name, she is the oracle of all things Singapore. Like, I would like to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
totally
think that might
perceive
be
that as well.
trademarked. I don't know.
Yes, cut that from the script. Yeah. Well, gals, you have given us so much great insight on female friendships. And I think, you know, the four of us are very like-minded, but also come from such distinct backgrounds that I think this was a really fruitful sharing of the minds. The last thing we must do, though, because this is the Forties Formula.
It is.
We must figure out what is the formula for deep, lasting friendships in your 40s. And I don't want to, you know, I think you've actually already offered yours, SHIREENA, which is acceptance,
yes,
right? You have to find the tribe that accepts you.
accept yourself, know yourself, and then find people that accept you.
Anju, how about
Beautiful.
Yeah, I would echo those words. I think it really starts with you. I think you have to know yourself and go out to the right places to find the right people that are then going to reflect that back to you.
I'm going to say low maintenance but high value. I feel like, you know, you don't need to expect a lot from other people, but, you know, it's what people bring to that relationship. So I feel like something that's too much in terms of energy or, you know, energy draining more so is something is too much for me. So yeah, low maintenance is what you're going to get with me. Sorry, guys.
And again, I think that's also why we connect so well. And I think for me, it's just, you know, assume the best in people.
Yeah.
You know,
Beautiful,
assume
yeah.
that everyone is coming at you with positivity. The universe is trying to show you the paths of least resistance. Like, accept it. And you know, don't assume the worst in people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's something we can definitely outgrow in our 40s. So, well, gals, thank you so much for being here with us today. We
Thanks for having
really,
us.
really
Thank you.
appreciate it. I hope that the listeners get a lot out of this convo, and we hope to have you both again soon. Like I said, with SHIREENA as our second-time visitor, and Anju, we'd love to have you back as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, ladies.
All right, let's talk about strength training. It is one of the most powerful things you can do for your body, especially in your 40s.
It's true, it's not always easy to build strength, but it's vital. Strength training will help keep your metabolism firing, strengthen your bones, and makes daily tasks way easier. Plus, it gives you that extra confidence in your body.
Exactly. It's tough work, but it's so worth it. And that's where Great Moves comes in. They'll guide you through the process, help you build strength the right way, and keep you motivated. No gimmicks, just real results.
It's time to stop coasting. Strength training isn't just about building muscle. It's about building resilience and feeling strong every day. And Great Moves is here to help you do exactly that.
And we've got an exclusive offer just for our audience. Use code TFF30 at moves.great.com for $20 off your trial class or 50% off any 5-session starter pack.
Guys, you know we love coffee. And if you want to show us some love, you know you can always get us one.
Just visit buymeacoffee.com/the40s formula.
Cheers.
Before we go, please remember to hit subscribe and take a moment to support the 40s formula by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform.
Your reviews will help us to reach more people and allow us to continue to bring valuable content. It should only take a moment, and it's a free way for you to support the show.
You can also stay updated with the 40s formula by following us on Instagram at the 40s formula, all one word. We share behind the scenes insights, episode updates, and much more, so please be sure to hit that follow button.
We appreciate your time and support. Thank you for being part of this community, and we'll be back next week for more empowering conversations with inspiring guests.
Bye.
Bye.
It's like my favorite. I wish this level of neon existed in other colors. Do you know what I mean? Like orange and red, but like neon.
Yeah.
Hard to
yeah,
find.
yeah.
I wish. I'm going to write
There
Mac.
must be some particles in it that make that color.
Yes. Well, and you know it because when you do that, like it brightens up again. So it's like, you know that it's got something in it.
When I put on my pink shoes, I was like, I needed a pink lipstick for it, but then I changed my shoes because I was like wearing the wrong colour.
Yeah, I can't do this with that. Absolutely not.